When I first heard the topic was Aspire, I was a little hesitant. I thought to myself, I don't even know what I want to do with my life. And that becomes a difficult thought when everywhere that you go, people are constantly bombarding you with the question, so, what do you want to be when you grow up? We've all heard this some point in our lives, whether it be at the age of 5 or 15. And so finding the answer to this question has always seemed to be the most important thing to me. I thought that without the answer, how am I even supposed to live my life to the fullest? But it wasn't until recently that I realized I don't need to have everything figured out quite yet. I mean, with all of the options, how could you? Life is not about knowing what you want to do initially, but it's the journey of finding yourself gradually. So with this understanding, I thought that all it would take for me to find success was to work hard in school to the best of my ability. But as the weeks pass, with all the work and stress that I associate with school, I find myself simply trying to get through the week. I would show up to my classes, sports, extracurricular activities, homework, sleep, repeat. It felt like an endless and monotonous cycle in which I was unable to escape. To add on to that, my friends had the same mindset, and it seemed as if the only thing that mattered to anyone anymore were the letters that appeared on a sheet of paper. It bothered me that grades were the only evaluation of our time in school, considering that no matter how hard I tried, I could never do as well as my friends. That seems to be something we do a lot as people. We're constantly comparing ourselves to others. Instead of evaluating if we ourselves have improved, we put ourselves down if we aren't doing as well as that other kid in class who's way smarter than we'll ever be. But that is truly the hardest thing, to change that mindset and realize that you're worth something, even if you don't believe that you're as smart or talented as the people that you know and see in your life. If you aren't able to change the way you think of yourself into a more positive outlook, it will be way harder to motivate yourself to accomplish what you can with the talents and abilities that you have. If not, you may go for the rest of your life believing that you're nothing. Setting goals for yourself can be a great thing. If you aspire, then you work to accomplish. But you should also strive to find happiness in what you do. Take a moment to think to yourself, when was the last time you didn't feel any pressure? Well, you're not alone. Everyone in school feels some degree of pressure in one way or another. But if you aren't able to overcome that pressure, then you're just not going to learn from it. But most importantly, some people that I've talked to in school feel pressure to pursue a certain occupation that they don't even enjoy. So even if you were able to get into an Ivy League school, graduate with some degree such as pre-med or engineering, but you walked through life doing something that you don't even enjoy, well, I don't know about you guys, but I would rather spend my days working towards something that I enjoy. So if you want to be a lawyer or a doctor, go for it. But if all that you are working for is not something that would make you truly happy, I would suggest a different approach. Now, I would assume that by now everyone knows how things in the school are run. We all feel pressure to perform well academically. But there are some things that the school system does not evaluate, mainly the time and effort that we put into our work. And that has been what's the hardest for me to accept, because sometimes I feel that no matter how hard I try and try and try, nothing I do is good enough. But you need to accept your failures, because it's not possible for everything you do in life to be perfect. But if you don't learn to embrace your imperfections, it'll be way harder to motivate yourself. There's a healthy balance to everything in life. To push yourself without burning yourself out, I aspire to find that balance, and hopefully happiness along the way. Because if you're not enjoying the life that you have, let me ask you, what's the point? Finding a career in which you feel fulfillment and you're doing something that you feel passionate about should be your top priority. And the trick about finding a successful career is to have the courage to change it if it doesn't feel right. And maybe that means being a teacher, a fireman, or a social worker, because those jobs are all about helping to better the lives of the people around you. But you cannot judge success based on your monetary worth, but rather the impact that you have on society and the positive effect it has on your own self-worth. Aspire to achieve happiness. You can listen to the people that you trust, but don't let them make those decisions for you. Aspire to take risks because with mistakes, you learn new lessons. And aspire to find balance in your life. Thank you.